Welcome back. Today we have a viral video that has surfaced on the internet. A Karen in her natural habitat was caught on camera, unleashing a racist tirade against innocent schoolgirls simply for picking berries during a peaceful walk. I'm sure you've already familiar with her because of the notorious Karen Berry Dance Act. We probably all know her, but what other information is out there regarding the whole incident? Well, this video is going to cover it all, so stick to the end. To start this off, this intense confrontation unfolded at Minnetonka Regional Park on Canada's High Knoll Trail. The incident involved Andrea Tildzak, who took it upon herself to lecture a group of girls about their berry-picking activities in the public park. This encounter was captured on video and quickly went viral, drawing widespread attention to the concerning behavior exhibited by Andrea. Let's analyze the incident.
Taxes, I pay for this park, and I don't like to see people wrecking it.
We're not wrecking it. There's literally so many berries everywhere.
Oh my God, we're not wrecking it!
The encounter erupted in the first 10 seconds of the video when Andrea abruptly stopped the girls, claiming that their berry picking was causing damage to the park, which she argued was funded through taxpayers' money. Andrea, the self-proclaimed park guardian, wasted no time in launching her tirade against these innocent berry-picking schoolgirls. I mean, who knew berries could trigger such a volcanic eruption? The girls, seemingly taken aback by her aggressive approach, calmly responded that they were not wrecking anything and pointed out that berries were abundant in the trees. However, instead of de-escalating the situation, Karen's overreaction only intensified. It's like Andrea was on a mission to win an Oscar for Best Dramatic Rant. Her over-the-top reaction could rival any Shakespearean tragedy.
Oh, there's so many berries out here! There's so many berries!
I cannot.
Complete twits.
We're twits. You're the one coming up to two young girls, getting
Young
mad
girls,
at them for
yeah,
picking
you're acting
berries.
like 6-year-old.
In a shocking turn of events, the woman's verbal assault on the girls escalated to new heights. With condescension, she branded the girls as complete twits. Unfazed by her derogatory remark, the girls bravely stood their ground, telling Andrea to mind her own business and not interfere with their harmless berry picking. However, instead of walking away, Andrea seemed to be fueled by their response. Turning around with an air of self-righteousness, she launched into a scathing retort, accusing the girls of being rude and using offensive language.
You're the one coming up to two young girls, getting
Young
mad
girls,
at them for
yeah,
picking
you're acting
berries.
like 6-year-old.
6 years old.
Because we wanted to eat some berries.
I'm saying, eat all the berries you want, just don't take the bush with you.
It's not
sorry,
the bush.
is
It's
it
literally
affecting
it's a
you
tiny
personally?
branch of berries.
Why don't you mind your own business? Why don't you mind your own business?
You know, that is the fucking rudest thing you've said to me.
You decided
Go
to come
back
up
where
to
you
us.
came from if you want to use language like that.
Oh, why don't you go back to where you came from, you colonizer?
In an astonishing display of ignorance, she waved her finger menacingly at the girls while uttering the words, "You know, that is the rudest thing you've said to me." As if her prior behavior wasn't appalling enough, she stooped even lower, resorting to discriminatory language, insinuating that the girls didn't belong and suggesting they should go back where they came from, simply for standing up for themselves. Seriously, is this for real? We're in the 21st century, people. It's beyond belief that such ignorance and bigotry still rear their ugly heads. Now I have to give credit to those brave girls. They held their ground with a sense of poise that would make Jedi Knights jealous. I mean, facing an over-the-top Karen like Andrea takes nerves of steel, and they handled it like absolute champs. The situation had spiraled into an alarming display of bigotry and hostility, leaving the girls stunned by Andrea's audacity. And as if her overreaction and discriminatory language weren't enough, Andrea decided to play the "go back where you came from" card.
Go back where you came from.
Oh, the hypocrisy is strong with this one. In the heat of the confrontation, as Andrea continued her onslaught of bigotry, the girls calmly responded that they were born in Canada. Can you hear the mic drop from here? The look on Andrea's face must have been priceless. But it doesn't end there, folks. As the girls dropped the bombshell that they were native Canadians, our dear Karen admitted she was originally from the United States, the very country she now criticizes. You can't make this stuff up. It's like a classic tale of irony and karma coming together in one explosive encounter. Andrea, the self-proclaimed patriot, now finds herself in the same shoes as those she had just scorned. Talk about a reality check. But the girls weren't about to let her off the hook that easily. In a brilliant display of poetic justice, they took a page right out of her playbook. With a razor-sharp retort, they called Andrea a colonizer and suggested she should take her advice and go back to where she came from. You have to hand it to those girls. They sure know how to dish out a taste of one's own medicine. It's like they channeled the spirits of ancient storytellers, crafting a narrative that left Andrea red-faced and exposed.
Are you First Nations?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then don't call me a colonizer.
You're a colonizer. You're
Where
European.
did you come from?
Yeah, where did you come from?
Where did you come from? I'm actually curious. Where'd you
U.S.
U.S.?
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're not even
you're
from
not
here.
Canadian either.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, so but we are Canadian too. I was born here.
I was born here too.
Okay.
Were you born here?
No.
Okay, so this is actually like I was born here and you're not even born here, and you're telling me to go
Doesn't
back
matter,
to
you're
wherever.
telling us to go
Your
back to
grandparents weren't either. That's the thing. Were your grandparents born here?
Look,
No.
she's smiling. She wants to
I
get a reaction out of
know.
us.
This is so
Yeah,
hilarious.
I am getting a reaction out of you too, aren't I?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry that you're not
Start with it.
After Andrea's audacious "go back where you came from" remark, the girls decided to take the conversation up a notch with a simple question. Were you born here? As Andrea stood there, rendered temporarily speechless, it seemed as though time itself had slowed down. The weight of her words hung heavy in the air, contrasting with the calm resolve of the schoolgirls before her. In that charged moment, the power dynamics had shifted, and it was the girls who now held the upper hand. And yet, in that brief pause, a profound realization seemed to wash over her. The irony of her comment hit her like a tidal wave, and perhaps for the first time she truly understood the impact of her words. The girls, on the other hand, wore expressions of quiet strength and dignity. They had chosen not to respond with anger or aggression, but had instead delivered a poignant lesson in empathy and understanding. In their composed demeanor, they embodied the power of rising above hate and bigotry. And when the girls revealed their Canadian roots, you could almost hear a collective gasp from the virtual audience. Talk about poetic justice. It's as if the universe conspired to deliver the perfect comeback, leaving Andrea utterly speechless. Following the viral explosion of this shocking video, Andrea Tildzak's life took an unexpected turn. The backlash she faced from people and her local community was swift and relentless. Social media platforms were flooded with condemnation, memes, and parodies of her now infamous encounter. In the aftermath, Andrea's actions had consequences beyond the virtual world. Her employer, appalled by her behavior, decided to terminate her employment, citing that her conduct did not align with their company values. As more information emerged about Andrea, people discovered that she had a history of confrontations and complaints in public places. It seemed that this encounter was not an isolated incident, but rather a manifestation of a pattern of behavior. Additionally, discussions about racism and xenophobia in Canada were reignited. Many reflected on the need to address the underlying issues of discrimination and prejudice that persist in society. The reactions to the video were both widespread and diverse. While the majority of people condemned Andrea's behavior, there were also debates about the appropriate response to such incidents. Some argued that public shaming might not be the best approach, while others believed it served as a necessary wake-up call for those who perpetuate bigotry. The impact of this video extended beyond the immediate incident. It prompted important conversations about racism, intolerance, and privilege, not just in Canada but worldwide. Many individuals and organizations used this opportunity to advocate for diversity, inclusion, and the importance of promoting empathy and understanding. The video became a catalyst for examining the Karen phenomenon and its implications. It shed light on the harmful effects of entitlement and how confrontational behavior can perpetuate division in communities. In an exclusive interview with CTV News, Andrea Tildzak expressed deep remorse for her words and actions, acknowledging that she feels ashamed of her behavior.
They said some things that triggered me and it made me angry, and I said some things that I shouldn't have.
Andrea Tildzak agrees her comment was racist, but says it's not what she intended to say, and that in the heat of the moment, her words simply came out wrong.
Coquitlam Mayor Richard Stewart was among the viewers who witnessed the shocking encounter with Karen, and he was far from pleased with her behavior, just like hundreds of others. Mayor Stewart expressed his anger and disappointment, condemning Andrea Tildzak's comment, "Go back to where you came from," as utterly unacceptable. However, he did add a touch of wit to his disapproval, saying, "It's never acceptable unless you're speaking to a racist from the United States and asking her to perhaps take her attitude back to where she came from." With that sly remark, Mayor Stewart struck a chord with viewers, highlighting the irony of Andrea's discriminatory language. His response resonated with many, emphasizing the need to address bigotry and intolerance wherever it arises. In recent times, the term Karen has gained popularity as a label for a particular type of behavior exhibited by some middle-class white women who condescend and belittle people of color. Sadly, there have been numerous troubling incidents where individuals fitting this description have been called out for their entitled attitudes. One infamous case is the Central Park incident involving Amy Cooper. In that incident, Amy Cooper falsely accused an African-American man of threatening her life when all he had done was request her to leash her dog. Her misuse of emergency services in an attempt to exert control and authority over the situation was met with widespread criticism and condemnation. These incidents shine a spotlight on the persistence of racial bias and the need to address issues of entitlement and discrimination. transformation. They serve as a reminder of the importance of promoting empathy, understanding, and equality in our interactions with others, regardless of their background. The incidents involving Karen behavior have undeniably left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. From the encounter with Andrea Tilzak to the infamous Central Park incident with Amy Cooper, these events have forced us to confront uncomfortable truths about societal biases and entitlement. However, amidst the disheartening incidents, there are glimmers of hope. The brave response of the schoolgirls to Andrea's outburst, the public outcry against discriminatory behavior, and the humorous yet impactful commentary from leaders like Mayor Richard Stewart shows that there is a growing collective understanding that such behavior is unacceptable. These incidents serve as a call to action for all of us to be more conscious of our attitudes and actions. Let us choose empathy over judgment, compassion over condescension, and unity over division.